Obviously, this could all be completely wrong, and who cares? What's up, y'all? We're at the water cooler talking last night's very, very eventful True Detective episode. My name's Kyle Luke. With me is Leah Becerra. And finally, a lot of stuff happened. All the stuff happened. Arguably, too much stuff happened.
Finally, we have something to go on to solve the mystery.
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
Yes.
We think it's been kind of solved. We have a theory.
Yes, so last night we found out, thanks to Vera, that Casper's office assistant, AKA Erica, is actually the little girl from the picture whose real name is Laura. So, based off of this, we've come to the conclusion that Laura is behind it all.
Laura slash
Erica.
Erica, okay.
And we might need to backtrack to kind of like explain that whole thing.
Let's backtrack all the way to 1992.
Yes. So during the LA riots, we found out that these blue diamonds, which apparently are at the center of all of this, were stolen, but they made it look like it was looting during the LA riots, because everybody was doing that at the time. But it was actually very, very much set up, skillfully set up to steal those blue diamonds. In the process, two little kids' parents died and they became orphans.
And the people that were involved in their killing were Casper,
yes, Lieutenant Burris,
and Dixon,
and Police Chief Holloway.
Okay, so everyone who's involved in all the corruption this season as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And we think that the person who now killed Casper is at least one of, and maybe both of those kids.
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing we think is that the reason why nobody can figure out who killed Casper is these two kids have no connection really to anyone else in the show. You saw when Frank threw Blake up against the wall and he's interrogating him, he has no idea who killed Casper. Nobody seems to know who killed Casper, and the thinking here is that if the two kids, the two orphans as a result of that murder, were the ones that killed Casper, nobody really knows about them. Nobody's checked in on them.
And Laura slash Erica being Casper's assistant makes perfect sense, because like if I were trying to kill somebody, like I would get really, really close to them. I would gain all of their trust and then I would totally screw them over.
How do you feel about that? If that is the way that it's solved, how do you feel about that?
I don't know, like I'm a little bugged by the fact that the blue diamonds are what we should have been watching this whole time, because we've all been paying attention to the missing hard drive, for instance, but the hard drive is actually part of like a separate thing.
Right, well, as you pointed out before we went on camera, the hard drive essentially is what Vera knows, correct?
Yeah, she knows who's on it. She knows a little bit of probably like what they're talking about, even though she's not telling us that. But the people on the hard drive are probably the same people who signed that contract that Paul stole. So, I mean, we got it, kind of. And, you know, one of our favorite detectives, you know, hats off to him, was the one all over the blue diamonds. Yeah.
Who unfortunately met his demise last night at the hands of that that really bad person, Lieutenant Burris.
That piece of...
There it is.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, no, I know.
So, God, Paul, I'm so sorry. Paul's character started out really, really slow. Like, towards the beginning of us taping these, we were like joking about how we kept forgetting about him.
Yeah, slowness fits in. All he did was just stare longingly at the camera, like more so than anyone, all the brooding from Paul.
Yes. So, I mean, over time, we've kind of warmed up to him. He's a good detective. I love watching him do his snake impression. But now he's dead, and I feel like his death was, I don't know, like I had hoped that he was gonna live. He took out all those bad guys to get outside, and then, oh, he gets shot in the back. What the crap?
Yeah, they did that thing where he shoots his way out in this incredible gun scene where, you know, he's going up against all of his ex-comrades from the Black Mountain Security Forces, only to be shot in the back by the lieutenant who ran the very investigation that he was working on.
It's total crap.
Man,
not okay with it.
Not okay with it at all. Let's check in with our other detectives, Annie and Ray.
God.
You're not
awkward love scene ever?
Yeah,
most
yeah,
awkward
pretty
love
much.
scene ever.
It was really uncomfortable to watch for me as a viewer, and it kind of just felt like it didn't need to be there at all.
Yeah, I mean, the dialogue in that scene in particular, the "Do you miss it" line, I started laughing. I really did. Do you miss it? Miss what? Anything. What the? What does that even mean? That's just peak True Detective nonsense right there.
Dude, Frank was on fire last night.
Oh man. A+ segue and A+ pun right there. That's how True Detective works. Yeah, Frank's literal scorched earth policy, just lighting every casino that he owns on fire and leaving in his wake this trail of essentially his life.
Yeah.
Just burns it all down. Okay, so we want to play a little game here. We want to figure out, or we want to take a guess, very uneducated and probably incorrect guess, as most of the predictions made on this show, at who lives and who dies. I'm going to fire off some names, and Leah is going to tell me lives or dies. First up, Frank.
Lives. Definitely lives.
Definitely lives.
Yes.
Okay. Ray.
I don't think you can kill him off, but I kind of think that they will.
We get that look-ahead shot of him at the airport.
Yeah. Is there an undecided one, or do I have to say yes or no?
I'm gonna make you say yes or no.
Okay. I'm gonna say that Ray lives.
Annie.
Gunshot, but she lives too.
Oh, gunshot, but she lives too. Annie's dad.
He totally lives. He's like not even, he's gone right now.
We'll see. I bet he
He dies.
Frank's wife.
Totally is gonna die. I'm sticking with my old prediction.
Yeah, I agree that Annie will live.
Gunshot wound?
Gunshot wound. I think Annie escapes under a different identity somehow.
So for this week's Truest Detective, now that Paul is out of the running, what do you think?
Is he out of the running?
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's per episode, right? So like, was he the truest detective of the last episode?
I think if you're the truest detective, you don't die.
Okay, that's fair. Good point. Fair point, Leah. Okay, who is it?
For me, I'm gonna have to go with Annie. Even though she's kind of messed up right now and she's like, I'm totally not into the romance thing. I will reiterate that again because it's so weird, but she's still my truest detective.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. She's the only one who stands a chance at cracking this thing. I have a feeling that Ray is going to run as far away as possible, and Annie's going to stick around and try to still win.
Yeah.
So for that, she wins Truest Detective. The only plausible thing that seems to happen for me next episode is everyone seems to be trying to cover their asses. I mean, they're in so deep with this organization, this faceless organization of evil. I don't see how anything good comes out of it. Yeah. Last week, an HBO exec promised that the fans of True Detective Season 2 need to wait till the very end to make their decisions and their judgments. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll see how it ends next week, but you know, it's been a very tangled web.
Yeah, let's hope the
It's the
juice is
season.
worth the squeeze.